Hut open. No one told me about this. Me neither. Did she act on her own? Don't worry about it. I chose to let her do it. Don Alberto. But why? A gold coin can mean very different things in different circumstances. The Bolognes will not have their way. What's a little smirch on our reputation if it means we cut another piece of flesh off Bernardo? Understood. What should we do now? Prepare my car. I'm going to see my daughter. Yes, Don Alberto. By the way, where is Dan Brown now? Dan Brown? I think he's working at a car wash. Give me the address. Are you calling him back? I never permitted him to leave the family. Understood. And prepare a banquet. Or a feast for the heir to family Boulogne. Let me go! We caught the assassins, thanks to Lappland's tip-off. They've been identified as having taken part in Leon Tuzo's assassination. Do you two know her? Hey! Nothing good ever comes of dealing with you, Lappland. Look on the bright side. It's not every day that you get to sit in a Siracusan cell. Lock them up. Yes, Your Honor. You were the one who waylaid Selenia and ordered the bombing of Karasi. Is that still your story? You sure are persistent, aren't you? Don't you and Boulogne want this case to get closed as quickly as you can? Doesn't matter if it was me or Texas who did it. You really should hang me, Your Honor. I'm just a pawn my family cast aside. Surely you can do it. Imagine the positive impact that my death will have on justice in Siracusa. Isn't it worth a try? I don't know what you're planning, but I'll do exactly that if you really are the culprit, Lappland Saluzzo. First, there's someone I have to see. Welcome back, Don Bernardo. Take a break. You've been working hard. Yes, Don Bernardo. Not happy? How could I be? Come with me. There are some things that you have to know. Why did you bring me here, my lord? Bernardo, are you asking me to tame your unruly cub now? He just needs to understand something. What are you? I am Il Signor De Lupi, cub. Leon Tuzo feels a daze at the words Signore De Lupi. Fragments of knowledge and memory rush into his mind and take shape. The Signori De Lupi, sovereign of beasts, beings that were never born. They have existed in time immemorial. Zavru is a sovereign of beasts. He and his kind have borne witness to the path that the wolfpack tread on the wilderness? Is that supposed to be wilderness? They are engaged in a killing game, guided by their own nature. The Signori De Lupi are immortal. They gain no satisfaction from fighting amongst themselves, so they have set rules for the game. Each Signor De Lupi grooms a human to hunt others. These are the fangs of the Signor De Lupi. The one with the last fang standing becomes the alpha. I just want to point out, like, the whole alpha wolf thing doesn't exist. Signor de Lupi. The hunt. Fangs. Could it be? Your father has been an excellent fang. Rubio, Don Alberto is holding a banquet for family below. We will need the best food. Could it really be Salazar? Rubio. Oh, it's nothing. Let me think. Ordinary hospitality won't do when the balloons are involved. Please inform Don Alberto that it would be my honor to prepare the banquet personally. I eagerly await his response. In Colombia, a show of kindness by a mafioso often results in the subject becoming a chip in a bargain. The more one cares, the higher the cost. In Syracuse, the subject may take their last breath on a dark, rainy street. The more one cares, the greater the pain. One must become cold and heartless. Texas knows that well and detests it. I'm sorry. No need to apologize to me. You can leave after some paperwork if you want. Procedurally, you're no longer a suspect. I'm not worried. It's quieter here in jail. Haven't you given up yet? Do you really think your old friend did it? It's her style, but I don't see the motive. Then it's not time to give up. Signorina Lavinia, family Rosati sends word that Signor Wallach would like to speak with Signorina Selina. Well, no rest for the wicked then. Lavinia realizes that Texas put something in her pocket as she passed by. She reaches into it and finds a note. There's a phone number and a short message scribbled in a corner. Penguin Logistics delivers, rain or shine. Signor, if you have to sleep, can you at least put your legs down? Are you talking to me? Who else? How could you sleep in the theater? And to put your feet up like that? How rude. I'm not blocking you, am I? No. But it's really off-putting to have someone so rude beside me. Alright, I'll put my legs down. Hey, why do you have food with you? We don't sell food here. Yeah, I bought it at the corner store since you don't sell popcorn here. Is it your first time here? A friend suggested I come here to relax. What do you think of the performance? I don't really understand what's going on. Why are they doing that? Escort this gentleman out. He's not welcome here. Hey, I bought a ticket. Give him a refund. Right away. Come with us, senor. And get the hell out. Say, I saw him when the show started. I thought he was some rich boy out to experience society. Turns out it was a poor Caso who knows nothing about opera. Did you like what they were doing on stage? Of course, the actors look pretty nice. And the songs are beautiful. Is that what they call art? Stick to the bars, pleb. Oh yeah, here's your ticket money. Don't you dare say we took it. What's that? You want to do this the hard way? Hey, this guy's strong. I need some help here. Something's not right with his eyes. Ah, my arm. It's gonna break. Hold it right there. Just let it go. Don't waste your time with Siracusano like that. Come on. Let's get you bandaged up. Sorry, Signorina Lavinia. Doesn't look like this is something for me. Guess I should find a bar to get myself drunk and spend the night at the porno theater? What? I'm not gonna ask. Want a drink? Dan Brown looks in the direction the voice came from. He sees a man leaning by the side of the alley, shaking a bottle in his hand. I want an explanation, Lappland. Isn't this what you wanted? Help the balloons when they're at their weakest. Control them and dominate them rather than destroy them. I thought I taught you. I taught you what to do in times like this. Oh, I forgot. It's been years since I left, you know? I can have you ignoring the business I give you. Or are you going against me? You're my daughter after all. I'm a forgiving man. But I can't let you go over my head to make decisions for the family. Even if you did actually guess what I wanted to do. I am Dawn of our family. 7 years ago, I kicked you out for this. 7 years later, you came back and did it again. You knew it would infuriate me. You knew it was the only thing that could infuriate me. Why did you do it? Figlia mia. Because nothing else brings me joy, Padre mio. I wanted to know if it's really your position that matters most. I've always wanted to know. Oh, you got some family problems? Lappland raises herself from the ground with great effort. Her face is full of joy, as though this is what she came back to Syracuse for. Time's up, boss. That'll be all for today. That's all? You defied me. You're still my daughter. You know what I want. Better than anyone. All you're missing is discipline. It's my fault for not educating you properly. But there's still time. So, all the Signori dei Lupi live amongst us? No. He's the only one who involves himself in human society. The rest of them stay out in the wilderness. Why? He believes that the authority over man is a form of power. He wants to use it to triumph over the other Signori dei Lupi. So he wants you to overthrow Signora Cecilia, become the de facto ruler of Syracuse, and help him win his fight with his kind? You, me, the entire family. We're all tools to him. Did you think I was going to accept that? How could you accept being a puppet your entire life? Figlio mio. There's one thing you've misunderstood. He taught me how to win power. Just as I taught you. Using it to defeat the other fangs is just a part. Every decision that I made, including what I'm doing now, is my own. Can you be so sure? No. He's serious. Look at him. The strengths of his character. He's no puppet. We're each other's tools. Instruments for our mutual victory. That's all. Boss, the Saluzos have sent their invitation. Don Alberto would like Signor Leon to attend this banquet. Oh, I've lost count of how many times you've sighed today, Sora. Can't be helped, considering what happened at the trial. How about rerate the prison? You lost your damn mind. At least we'd get to see her. I wouldn't recommend it. What are you doing here, Miss Katarina? That's my line, Sora. Why are you out here? It's dangerous. I live nearby. You do? Did you get scammed? It's fine. She's got me and Exia. Who's this, Sora? Oh, I met Katarina a few days ago over at the theater. Well, I guess it's fine if you have friends you can count on. What about you? Oh, don't worry about me. A noisy place like this is conducive to my creative work. Creative work? Say, the playwright behind Morte di Texas is named Katarina too. Could you be... Uh-huh. Wow. No wonder you knew so much about the Texas family. I read that one. Even I could tell it's one humdinger of a script. Can I get your autograph? Sure. Not that it's worth anything right now. La Morte de Texas is gonna be a blockbuster. You can bet on that. Thanks. Back to what you just said. You look like you can take care of yourselves. And I wouldn't put it past you to actually get it done. If there was any other Syracuse in prison. But things aren't so easy here in Volsini, the Slavinia around. Eyes of all the families are on that place. You don't know what trouble you might stir up if you act rashly. We were just kidding around. You didn't look like you were. May I ask a question? Okay. Do you know Selenia well? Sit. There's an unwritten rule in art and writing. You can base your work on the family. You can't mention a real family by name. I've heard that. Somebody, La Morte di Texas out there. The first work to use the name of a real family. And? That means the families aren't trying to stay in the shadows anymore. They're out to take center stage. All thanks to the Colombians. A lot's changed since the Colombians got mixed up in the Siracusan art scene. Unscrupulous artists, or rather, craftsmen, pumped out work that's starting to stink. They're not making observations about life. They're making pale imitations of it. As long as audiences are willing to shell out money for it. It's just a mosaic of pop culture. What was popular yesterday shows up in theaters tomorrow. Real quality is buried under garbage, which becomes all you find when you look for art. Isn't that terrible? If it's what everybody likes, then what you call art sounds like garbage. Something like that. But not everyone. There are those who would like to keep good art from being buried, but they don't know how to fight the tide. That old-timey opera didn't appeal to me. But you never escaped the past, did you? Who are you? Bro, I'm... Benthonexegios. Bro, why are you fucking... How y'all expect me to pronounce this stuff?
Bentonexigios.
Yeah. You'll find my name in the review section of Volsini Arts Weekly. Ben. Just call me Ben. Ben. I've got my thoughts about what Syracuse has become. People up high say we ought to solve our problems in more civilized ways. But when I try to do something all civilized, things turn out the same as they always did. Why do we fool ourselves like that when we don't actually have to? The families know how things are trending, but no one wants to give what they already had. Want a drink? That wine's not cheap. It's not. And this is a cheap pizzeria. It is. Why pair wine like that with pizza like that? Because the wine is worth the same as the pizza to me. The wine is certainly finely made, but just as much care was put into growing the wheat that ended up in this pizza. Is there really that much of a difference in value between them? If you take away the trappings of civilization, do you believe in these things? The trappings of civilization? Like the label on this wine. Slap it on something, and you're free to feed the people whom you fooled. So, Selenia fled to Lungmen, and you are her friends. Hard to believe, isn't it? No. I believe you. Really? First, there's no need for you to lie. Second, I always thought that there was a chance she was still alive. Now I understand why she suddenly showed up. I guess she made a deal with the Ballones and now she's here to pay her debt. Definitely sounds like her. But what a coincidence it is that you found the Compagnia del Alba. Or perhaps it's no coincidence. What's special about that company? Nothing. It's nothing. The Compagnia del Alba is a good place to start if you want to get close to Family Balone. But, well, come with me. What's this place? It's my home. Wow. Books and papers everywhere. Sorry about that. I didn't have time to clean up. Take this, Sora. A key? Yes. It can be dangerous outside. Come here if you want to practice. It's quieter, and I have plenty of scripts you can look at. But just think of it as making a new friend. Alright.